Welcome to Your Time to Thrive with personal fitness coach Jason Stevenson.
Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the Your Time to Thrive podcast. Today is the day before Thanksgiving. I'm going to give you a short podcast today because I know you probably have a lot of stuff going on today. If you don't, God bless. Be grateful for the opportunity to rest and relax. If you're like the rest of us, then we have plenty of things on our plates today. Whether you're listening live or record it, we appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the podcast. Today is podcast number 2 in a short series here that we're calling You're Not Going to Survive the Holidays. Now, I know that sounds a little bit of a challenge, and I hope it does actually, because frankly, it comes from the name of my business, which is Thrive, right? So the point is to thrive and not just survive. And I know, having been through the holidays my entire life and talked to people through the holidays my entire life, and then most importantly, professionally tried to help people come through this period of time, that it's a challenge for most of us. It's a challenge because of time. It's a challenge because of assumed obligations. It's a challenge because there's so many different things going on. Whether you have a big family or a small family, it's a complicated time of year. And even at the best circumstances, let's be frank, it's hard to do self-care on a regular basis and to be consistent, which is pretty much what I do. I help people achieve an optimal level of self-care that works with their lifestyle and works with their long-term goals. And through the holidays, it's probably one of the hardest times of year to be able to maintain that. So I wanted to have this conversation with all of you through this time period so that you would be battle ready. You'd be prepared. You would feel at least like you have a plan. So that's what we're continuing with today. The plan is up to you, frankly. I'm here to help. If you need help, shoot me out a message. I'm here to help. It's what I do for people. But if you pay attention to what you've done in the past, what has worked, what hasn't worked, and then think about what you have going on over the next couple of weeks, you can easily outline a simple plan for success. And it's not just surviving, right? I'm saying you're not going to survive the holidays, not because you're not going to make it through. We all know you're going to make it through the holidays. But the point is, are you just going to barely make it through? Are you going to come out at the other end a couple of pounds heavier, having lost some habits and some focus, credit card debt? You know, what's the point? You're supposed to enjoy the holidays. You're supposed to enjoy time with family and friends. These are celebratory holidays in our culture here. So why not let them be such? Why do they have to be so stressful? Why do they have to be so damaging to our self-care, our natural habits and our consistencies, our plans? Why do they have to get in the way of all of that? So the first step is to establish your plan. We talked a little bit about the outline last time, and we talked a little bit about thinking about our food and a little bit about fitness. So the first thing that you need to do is take a minute for yourself. Sit down, get out a piece of paper and pencil or pen, whatever implement works. Or if you're, part of this new technological world, then get out your phone and start typing yourself a note, or get on the computer and type yourself a letter. But you want to write it down. You want to write out a plan. What's your thoughts? Think about it. How did last year go? What worked last year for you? Did you have a good holiday season? Were you able to maintain some consistency with your fitness habits and your food focus, or didn't you? Start there. Evaluate what worked and what did not work last year, because every plan is subjective. The process is subjective, right? Your day is different than my day. Your holiday celebrations are going to be different than my holiday celebrations. So not one cookie cutter plan will work. You need to make this plan yourself. I highly suggest enlisting some help, whether you have a professional on your side or a good friend who will talk to you straight. You need some help. Share the idea of your plan. Talk to somebody about this. Tell them what you're thinking, what you want to do. The accountability is what you're looking for, not the opinions. Remember, opinions are given freely and taken as such. The accountability is what you're looking for. To be able to keep a plan, you need to be able to stick to the plan. So the first step is to figure out what worked and what didn't work, and then set your goals. What do you want to achieve out of this? Do you want to just survive and just kind of get through and focus on everybody else through the holidays? That's okay. If that's the case, then my first suggestion is to write that down and then decide what pieces of your self-care you're going to maintain. If you know that you're going to be running around volunteering or taking care of other people or spending time with loved ones, then there's going to be less free time in your life and then less time to work out. So how many days a week are you going to commit to yourself that you're going to exercise? And let's be real here, all right? When I say exercise, I mean move your body. That's it. Ultimately, it's up to you how long you spend doing that, but the minimum is 20 minutes, all right? And some days we're going to just check the box and get 10 sun salutations in. If that's the case, that's okay, but let's try and not make that the regular. Now, if you just get one day a week of 20 minutes of exercise where your heart rate is elevated and you're moving your body, that's a win. That's a bare minimum, but that's a win because you've already established a goal to maintain some consistency. And if you can maintain that, then you've won. We want to work up from there. Can you get a couple more days? Can you vary the activity? If that's the case, then do that. But remember, write this down. Write down what you're going to do. Tell somebody. Remember the accountability. Now, as I reference things, remember, folks, I'm referencing basics, right? Like move your body, 10 sun salutations. These are things that are easily found on the internet, Google searches, or if you want, reach out to me. The links for thrivetrainingteam.com allow access to my email and all my social media accounts. So if you have questions, you can always find me. If I ever reference something and you're thinking, what the hell does he mean? Just shoot me an email, please. I'm here to help. So, fitness, move your body, take a walk. Even if it's just on the lunch break, it's on your way out of work, take a couple of laps around the block. Before you come home at night, take a couple of laps around the block. Even if it's literally just walking around the outside of your house after dinner with a pet or without, with a family member or not, just move. The bare minimum is our bare minimums. We want more than that. But sometimes things happen and lifestyle is normal, right? This is the holidays. Sometimes there's less free time. So you want to set some goals so that you can get past the bare minimum, but be okay with getting through it, right? This is how we survive the holidays. Our goal is to get past that point. So let's set a goal of 3 days a week, maybe even 4 days a week. Maybe try something new. Try something you haven't done before, something you did in the past and you loved. I have clients on a regular basis that always reminisce about that amazing kickboxing class they took, or how much they loved that little dance class that they took with their partner a couple of years ago that was a gift from somebody, or somebody that jumped into a yoga class randomly, or they tried racquetball one time and they loved it. This is a good opportunity, actually. This time right now is a good chance to do some of those things because coming out of the holidays is when all of those things are on sale. People are giving gift cards out. It's a good chance to start to reestablish things that used to be fun, that used to work for you, or to start new habits. I know you've listened to me in the past. You've probably heard me talk about the New Year's resolution being a really crappy idea. But you know what I mean by that. It means that we want to stay consistent throughout the year. We don't want to just do it for January and then stop in February. So it doesn't mean that January isn't a great time to start new habits too. And now is a time to start thinking about them and experimenting a little bit. Besides, these opportunities are always out there. Right now is just a chance to try with them. So your first step is to write out your plan. The first part of the plan is to write down some fitness goals. At the very least, how much are you going to move your body over the next couple of weeks? So far, so good? All right. So after the fitness, we need to think about the food. What is your current PAR? Are you one of those people that tracks your food on a regular basis? We're watching our macros. We're thinking about our cheat meals. If that's the case, then stick with it and maintain some of those goals. If you're working towards some of those goals or you're working on some consistency, then find out what you can definitely do. What meals during the day are the easiest for you to nail? And again, this is not just survive the holidays. We want to get through this with some success and some great habits. But again, set your bare minimums. Can you get a great breakfast and then try and get a good lunch and then see what happens for dinner? Well, then do that. Definitely get a great breakfast. At the very least, that's a great bare minimum. We want to achieve further than that. So my suggestion here is write the plan where you're going to try and do better than that. Get a great breakfast and plan your meals. Get a great breakfast and plan your snacks. Don't skip meals, right? Like whatever works for you. Again, the food thing is a big subjective one. And I always offer to help by just saying, write down what you're currently eating. If you're not sure what you should be doing, if you look at what you're currently doing, you'll probably figure it out real fast. If you need any help with that, again, reach out. That's what I'm here for. But I've found in my experience that anybody that writes down 3 days worth of food has a pretty good idea of exactly what they're doing that's good and what they're doing that's bad. My suggestion on the food over the holidays is to keep it simple. Think smart foods, easy prep, lots of simple, fresh ingredients, and as clean as you can get it. The way that I describe the nutrition suggestions to my people is the things that are closer to the way that God made them, and whether it's Mother Earth or universe, it's the references, the idea, they're better for you. So essentially, the less packaged, processed, bleached, sugared, floured, you know what I mean. The things that are in the multiple shelves in the supermarkets that have lots of ingredients with lots of syllables that we don't really understand, right? So the point is to find things that are simple and easy. During the holidays, most of us have less free time on our hands. So by establishing a plan for our food that is composed of simple meals, you'll take less time to put it together, and you're more likely to be able to keep that as a consistent habit. Plus, if you're eating simple meals, when you get to some of the holiday celebrations where there's heavy foods or rich foods or complicated foods, your body will be better prepared for it. Because the truth is, you're a pretty efficient machine at metabolizing things. It's just that we overload our systems. It's okay to have fast food once in a while, but if you have it on a regular basis, your body has a really tough time dealing with that. It's okay to overindulge occasionally, have some extra calories, go to a party. Like tomorrow, I plan on eating dessert. It's not a normal part of my plan. I don't eat sweets very often, but when I get a chance to, I'm going to enjoy them. But because I don't eat a lot of sugar regularly, and I'm not eating a lot of processed sweets and fats, when I eat that tomorrow, my body's going to inhale that in a heartbeat. So the point is, for your food, second part of the plan, keep it simple. The simpler it is, the easier it is to maintain. And lastly, the third part is what we touched on last week, the spiritual side. Now, don't get all frazzled on me when I start talking spiritual, because this isn't a religious channel, but it's the same point. It's your meditation. It's your spirituality. It's your psychological side of all of this, essentially. Because the truth is, where your head goes, the rest of you will go. And if you're focused on your food and you're focused on your fitness, but you are stressed out during the holidays, your metabolism is going to be a mess. Your habits are going to be a mess. And you're not going to be able to maintain some consistency through this time period. And you're going to come out on the other side feeling like you lost your mind. There's no point. If you have a plan, you'll succeed. You got to follow it, but you'll be okay. So figure out what you need to do to feel less stressed about the holidays, whether you do need to elicit some help and get involved in some religious organizations or meetings or followings. Again, go back to what has worked for you in the past. Are you somebody that likes to go to church? Then great, make time to go to church. There are amazing opportunities, especially based on what happened last year, where you can actually go to church from the comfort of your home to hundreds of thousands of churches around the world. They're doing live stream services from, you wouldn't believe how many different sources. Find the type of service that works for you, find the time and the place, and stick to it. If the religion side isn't the one that you want to go towards, and meditation has worked for you, or just walking in the woods, get grounded, get outside. Maybe volunteering is your spiritual connection. Whatever it is, whatever it worked in the past for you is what you want to try and do this year. Now, I'm also going to suggest you try something different, of course, because you never know what's going to work in the future until you try something new. But we want to establish what has worked in the past because it's probably going to be easier to maintain that as a consistency. Plus, let's be honest, it worked. Don't try and fix something that's not broken. We just need to spend more time and energy on it, whether it's journaling, whether it's meditating, whether it's exercise, which does work, or it's walking outside, or it's being involved with a group. You want to focus a little bit on your head. It's one of the pieces that most people come out of the holidays commonly complaining about, that they were stressed during the holidays, whether it's the scheduling, whether it's the obligations, whether it's family, whatever it is that stresses you out during the holidays. It's the same holiday experience as last year. Don't be surprised that it's coming and that it does treat you like that, or you respond to it like that, or react. If you knew that this was going to cause you stress, then why didn't you do something different? Don't tell me in January that you gained all this weight and that you're stressed out over the holidays. It's not like it was a surprise. Nobody came to your house and brought a whole bunch of gifts and said, hey, we're here for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you got shocked by it. You know this is going to happen. You know these schedules are going to change. You know the food's going to be at the party. You know there's going to be encouragement to drink more. So have a plan. Then don't be surprised by it. You're much more likely to be able to get through this and feel good about yourself. Because ultimately, that's what we're talking about. Whether it's the food, the fitness, or the head part of it, the goal is your self-care, to feel better about yourself, feel better about your habits, feel better about your interactions with other people over the holidays. This is an opportunity to celebrate. Be grateful for the year. Be grateful for the little things. And sometimes the little things are getting a couple deep breaths of fresh air. They are taking a walk. It's spending time with loved ones. It's getting to eat amazing food that somebody prepared with love. So spend some time focused on your spiritual side. The last one I'm going to get you to think about is sleep. It's a small plan, right? So we're going to stick to the basics. Food includes hydration. Before I forget, make sure you stick to your water. And if you know you're going to drink a lot, then hydrate before you go out and mix water throughout the night. It's just the best way to do it. Every other is my safe bet. Keeps me hydrated and keeps me waking up in the morning without a headache. Anyway, the last piece is your sleep. Same scenario as everything else. Start with what's worked in the past. What alarms are you normally setting? What bedtimes are you usually keeping? And what habits have worked for you in the past? If you know that you're going to go to a holiday party tonight, well, then maybe plan to sleep in a little bit tomorrow or take a nap at some point soon. If you can't get a little bit of rest, and 10 minutes counts, close your eyes, shut off the world, disconnect from the technology, and take a little bit of rest. One of the main reasons people are stressed over the holidays is because they get less sleep. And sleep is when your body repairs. It's when your body completely rests. It resets, regenerates, and gets you started for the next day. And oftentimes we deprioritize it because we've got lots of things to do. We're going to stay up late celebrating with other friends and family, or we're going to be wrapping gifts, or we're going to be out shopping, or we're going to be up cooking. Whatever it is, understand that your stress level is going to increase the less sleep you get. So plan. Make a plan for what kind of rest you know you need. If you know that you need at least 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep a night to not be a cranky bitch in the morning, then set your alarm, make a good bedtime, and plan that the majority of the days of the week, you're going to nail those sleep times. We know that not every night's going to work. Nobody's perfect. I don't expect you to be. But the point is to get a bare minimum amount of what you know your body needs. There's lots of studies out there as far as how much sleep everybody needs nowadays. They just bump back the standard from 8 hours to 7 hours. I've always found that it's subjective. I know some people that do great on 5 hours. I know some people that do great on 9 hours. And if they get less, then they're a murderer to talk to in the mornings. So the point is to find out what works best for you. And you know your body better than anybody else does. Don't sacrifice your sleep for everything else, because then you're not going to have fun. It's not worth it. So let's recap. We're going to make a plan. We're going to do better than just survive the holidays by following through with our plan. And we're going to stick to our plan with accountability. Your first step is to think about your food. You're going to think about your fitness. You're going to think about your spiritual side or your head, and you're going to think about your sleep. Now, when you do this outline, same as everything else, keep it simple. Bullet statements, short words, and repeatable, maintainable habits. Think about it this way, folks. If we set some bare minimums and we go a step above that bare minimum through the holidays, when you get to New Year's and everybody you know is talking about their New Year's resolutions, you can laugh, because we're going to set some New Year's resolutions this year where you change your life, where you don't just make it through the holidays, where you don't just make it through January, where you don't just give up chocolate for 6 weeks. It's where you actually create the life that you deserve to live, a life where you're actually thriving and not just surviving. That's all I got for you today, folks. I know you got a lot on your plate, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. That's it. Follow a plan. Get your accountability. I know you can do this. Most of it you've probably already done in the past. Don't beat yourself up for things that have not worked or things that you didn't keep doing in the past. They have brought you to where you are, and you're a step closer to where you want to be. Have a great and happy holiday, folks. Wherever you are, whether you're listening to us live or record it, we appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the podcast. If you ever have any questions related to your health and fitness or anything that you hear on the podcasts, especially related to some of the things we talked about today, get in touch. Jump on the website, thrivetrainingteam.com, all the social media links, and my email. I'm here to help. Have a great and healthy day, folks. We'll talk to you soon.
For more information, tips, and workouts of the day, check out thrivetrainingteam.com.